Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today we have in front of us from the Infinity Saga, from Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Black Widow. And this is a figure I was not expecting to be released back when it was announced. And here you have a little picture, the poster of the movie. It's from Captain America, the Winter Soldier. There you have a little bio. You can pause it now if you want to check that. Legal stuff, more legal stuff. The Infinity Saga, image there, which is the actual good part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's been also some good releases after Endgame, but it hasn't been the same level of hit after hit after hit. And there you have the figure in the window, and it's looking okay. So let's take her out of there and see how good she actually is. And there you have the Infinity Saga Black Widow figure out of the packaging. I mean, this one is the actual new figure, but I used one of the older bodies just to display both head sculpts, because I want to have both in display. This is what she comes with. First of all, she comes with a couple of fist hands. Just fist hands with a horizontal swivel, nothing very special, but I mean, it's always good to have fist hands for the Black Widow. And we have the effect parts that came with that Black Widow, the one with the white suit and the stand when the movie came out, like the deluxe pack. Just take the hands out and put this in the wrist and pop the fist hands in. In any case, she also comes with a couple of guns, but somehow, I mean, there you can see the guns in her hand. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a trigger discipline, what she's doing, or they just chose the wrong hands for these guns, because this is, I mean, well, actually it's not bad, but I feel like you cannot put the finger in the trigger unless you cut it. You separate the finger from the rest of the fingers. Maybe then you can put the finger in the trigger, but otherwise she's just aiming, she's not shooting, But it's also good to have those kinds of hands. I don't know if it was intended or if it was just like it happened somehow. You can see the head there. I mean, the face sculpt is, now she's actually looking like Scarlett Johansson, and that's, I guess, what everybody wanted from the first release. But back then we didn't have the digital thing for the face. This is with the hair from the Captain America Winter Soldier movie, and yeah, it's a look I really liked for her. And of course we have to do the comparison with the older release. I mean, this one hasn't aged that well, I guess, which also applies for this head sculpt. I just wanted to make the comparison so that you can see the kind of evolution of this head sculpt. But I think, I mean, the actual sculpt, if I'm right, is the same. I don't know if of course you can see it's different skin tone, but I think the actual sculpt otherwise is the same. Maybe they retouched it a little bit. Of course, the paint is different. I mean, the paint technique, of course, and the result. But I think the actual face, it's the same. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it would be very tiny detail, which is also the same for this one. And where's the other? I mean, I guess if you look carefully, I think the actual sculpt is the same. You can see there she has the taser action or whatever those electrified things do. And yeah, that's it. I mean, actually, you can also see one of the differences with the older body is that the arms are double jointed and have a bicep swivel and are a bit thicker, because these ones were really weird. There you can see it's like chicken bones, and yeah, I mean, these ones are a bit thicker, which looks much more natural. And you can also see the chest area is sculpted differently. Let's say this figure is more natural looking, and this one is more like exaggerated, like fan service, whatever. You decide which one you prefer. I mean, I do like this But I also like this one, and also the fact that the material they used is a bit more like matte. In any case, also I like the fact that the costume is all black. But yeah, you decide whichever you prefer. Otherwise, the legs are the same, and yeah, the articulation is also very limited on the legs. Let's actually go through the articulation. The head now is not is also a thing that changed. Now it's a double ball peg, so she can do much more than the previous figure. The previous figure you could only like turn it around, but now you have a little bit of tilt. Looking up is just a little bit. It's limited. For this character it should be more. She can properly look down, and yeah, I mean, again, and you can turn it all around. Is much better than the previous one, but it could have been even better in my opinion. The arms can go all the way around. They can go up to almost 90 degrees. That's a bit limited for her again. I think it should be more for Black Widow. It should at least reach the T-pose. I mean, it's Black Widow, not the Thing or something, you know. I mean, or not Iron Man. She should have all the movements. She has double jointed elbows that can bend that far, so it will be all that you need. The fist hands bend in and out, and the gun hands luckily have a vertical swivel, so they go like this, you know, up and down. I mean, what you need for the gun, or knives or swords, whatever. You have the diaphragm, which can turn all the way around. It's ratcheted, and it's nicely ratcheted. It has a bit of resistance, but you don't feel like you're breaking anything. She can bend backwards only that far, I guess, because the body is quite thin. And forward almost nothing, and that's the main lack of this figure, because I mean, again, we're talking Black Widow, but yeah, this is the torso section is an old sculpt, and actually, even if it's that thin, I think they could have managed to give her more range than this. I mean, yeah, and she also has a little bit of tilt to the sides. That, I mean, that's okay, but yeah, it could be more back and forth. Definitely. The legs, you can see she has this weird holster situation, but they did that so that you're not like trapped with a belt that pulls everything back or whatever, or keeps floating up. But yeah, again, they reviewed the figure and they didn't fix those hips. I mean, that's horrible, because I mean, it's Black Widow and she can only do that much. I mean, come on. She should be able to do, I mean, she at least has a little bit of going back, and kicking forward is all the way, but it's yeah, I mean, and these legs also are a bit skinny for her. She should have a bit more. Yeah, I mean, she's not that skinny on the legs, in my opinion, if I'm right. I mean, this is almost, yeah, this is too skinny, but still, I mean, I like the pros of the figure. I mean, especially the new design parts are nice, but I mean, at this rate they should have done the whole figure new, you know, in my opinion. I mean, reusing this whole lower I mean, from the torso downwards is like yeah, that was cheap. But anyway, you have a thigh cut, double jointed pin knees that can bend all the way. I mean, that's good. And you have no boot cut, which is also a minus. And the shoes, I mean, the feet are these tiny little shoes, I mean, and she can kick back. I mean, the feet can go backwards that far, forwards all the way. I mean, in a non-natural way. And she has a almost flat rocker, which will do a little bit, but it's, I mean, it's outdated for this figure. I mean, for this character, you're getting this figure mostly for the updated head sculpts. I mean, that face print that actually looks like her now, and for the double jointed pinless arms with bicep and all of that. Otherwise, you're getting an old figure, which they should have updated. I mean, even if there's texture and all of that, it's like, yeah, they're milking a super old sculpt. Now, for size comparisons, there you have your Infinity Saga, Black Widow next to Mara Jade, next to Red Sonja, CoverGirl, and Scarlet, next to Tila, Siri, comic book Black Widow, these two, and the Black Series Ahsoka Tano. And next to every other Scarlett Johansson Black Widow figure I have, including this tiny little one, yeah, I mean, I think they look great together. And this is very special because it's the first one I have from this character from the first Avengers movie, I think. There you can see also SH Figure Arts being a bit smaller, but yeah, I mean, they just look good together. I think you decide yourself which is the best face sculpt. I think these ones do look like her. I mean, yeah, these ones are a bit more uncanny, but these ones, yeah, they did it better. And still, I have the feeling like we haven't gotten there like 100%. Anyway, you decide if you want to get this figure. I mean, the head sculpts are great, and I mean the paint, of course, and the updates on the body are good, but I mean they just should have done a whole new body, because that body is just, the legs and the torso are outdated, you know. But still, I mean, it's up to you to decide. I can recommend the head sculpts. I cannot recommend from the lower torso downwards. I mean, otherwise upper torso and the arms are great, but you need the whole figure to be great, you know. So please leave a like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.